So chapter 20 of Matthew, Jesus is telling a parable, and he starts it out like this. For the kingdom of heaven, he talked better than I do. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. I recently bought a house within the last couple of months. Nice little, it's a 1958 ranch, single level, so it's a nice house, just right for us. And I like going out early in the morning, sitting out in the backyard, looking out over all that property, nice big yard, and just wondering, what am I going to do with all this room? And I think to myself, over in this corner, I think I'd like a arbor, grapes, nice little place that I can look at as I'm sitting there and enjoy the view, enjoy the greenery. Maybe next to it there, I'll start some raised bed gardens. Couple, 2, 3 of them, just to begin with. Raised bed, because I plan to be there quite a while, and as you get older, the getting down's not too much of a problem, but getting back up can be a challenge. So raised bed, give me something to sit on, but I don't want just anything in my raised bed. I want something unique, something different, something special. I mean, people get gardens and they grow corn. And I think to myself, corn. Why, you can buy corn for $1 a dozen or 10 cents an ear. You go down to the farmer's market and get all the corn you want. I don't want just corn. I want something different. I want something that's unique, something that you just don't find anywhere, something that's special. And I'm thinking maybe heirloom seeds. You get stuff that's, it's not the hybrid, modern variety of fruit or vegetables that you get nowadays that grow big and they grow fast and they're, just solid. These hybrid seed, they're a little bit different. They don't grow quite as big, maybe. They don't grow quite as fast. Maybe they need a little more pampering, a little more nurture, a little more attention. But they come out sweeter, the richer, fuller, deeper. They're a great product. It's just that they don't lend themselves to modern techniques and modern living. They require a little more attention. And I thought to myself, of course, the Spirit of God and the gospel is kind of like that. We see this householder going out early in the morning. And I think, we are a tabernacle. That's what God has called us. We're a tabernacle. We're a house. We're a building, not made by hands, but by God. Yeah. And this man, this householder, was put a priority on getting out there first thing to look after his house, his vineyards. He made it a priority early in the morning. I think that's a good idea, spiritually speaking, that we need to make our spiritual house, our spiritual life, a priority early in the morning, after a cup of coffee. Maybe early as for some of the night shift folks might be 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But the point is, it's a priority. It's something that you put first. It's something that you say, when I get going, this is one of the first things I get going on, is to put God first and my spiritual house first. And think about those things that are important or necessary to having a good spiritual house. Excuse me. You don't want just any old spiritual house. I mean, you don't want to just be a rank and file Christian. Just that ordinary, everyday, you see them walking down the street and you don't know whether they're anything special. No, you want your, let's call it a faith journey. You want your faith journey to be something special, not just every ordinary day humdrum. You want it to be richer. You want it to be fuller. You want that walk with God to be deeper, not just a common modern day religious experience. You want it to be something special, maybe heirloom, maybe kind of like they used to get back in the old days. You know, when people would seek God and the Spirit of God would come down and people would feel the presence of God and the nurture and the strength and the guidance that God had for them. Something special, something unique, something that's not every day, but something that's yours, something that you've put there. It takes work. I'll sit there in the morning and do my daydreaming, but that doesn't get anything done. You know what? It's going to take some effort to get out there and build those raised beds, make that arbor, plant that seed, and nurture it, and pay attention to it. For Christians these days, I mean, this is not 100 years ago. We live in different times. We really do. We live in different times. Now, don't get me wrong. You look back in history, you look back at the ancient Greeks, ancient Romans, ancient Egyptians. There was some crazy living going on back then. Just wild stuff that was not hard to imagine. Hard to imagine society being like that. But you know what these days is these days? It's crazy. It's different. It's not the same as it was 50 years ago. But you know what? God is the same. Yeah. And you can get those heirloom experiences with God. You can get a hold of those things that maybe the modern church has left behind because they want the easier, the bigger, the stuff that doesn't take so much work, the stuff that just kind of, grows natural all by itself. That's what they want. We want something that's better. We want that richness that God has for us. We want that savor that comes out from something that's heirloom, that taste that you just don't find in the modern world today. That's something that harkens back to a time when God was real, day by day, moment by moment, when walking with God was not just a Sunday go to meeting and the rest of the week figure it out. No, but it was a daily walk with God every day. And we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it a lot. The kingdom of heaven, it's like a man that went out, a householder, that went out in the morning to hire laborers. I doubt anybody's going to help me, but I know with God's help, I can be successful. I know with God's help, God will make something out of the little effort that I put in, the seed that I plant, if it's good seed, if it's the right seed, not just a random first thing I find on the shelf. Might take some digging. It will take some digging. You don't find it anywhere. You don't find the heirloom stuff just every place. Bi-Mart, Walmart, Freddy's. No, you got to look for it. You got to go to that special place, those specialty places that have it. It's the same with the gospel. You've got to go to where the gospel is, which is really on your knees, where you're at. When you look to God and ask Him for help, then God helps you. If you're looking for something shallow, why, you'll find it. If you're looking for something that's easy, you'll find that. But if you're looking for something that's real, that's richer, that's fuller, that's deeper, something that the world doesn't have, but it could have if it would take the time. We can have if we take the time. Let God work in our hearts tonight, shall we? Let him use us, make us what he wants us to be, grow that heirloom quality spiritual life that he has for each and every one of us. 596 is the number. Let's come out and pray.